Welcome to the Codeplay Culture podcast, where we discuss tech, gaming, health, and the world around us.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Codeplay Culture podcast. Rui and Logan back at it yet again for another round underground. When you hear the sound, it will pound like thunder. We got the hunger to devour every flower. So don't cower every hour. Just have some gold showers. Probably not that last one, but dude, welcome. How's it going, Rui?
It's going good, man. Yeah, likely not that last one. Please, not the last one, for sure.
Yeah, kind of
the gold shower.
Ruined it right at the end.
It's good. Were you reading off a script? Because that was fresh, man. That was like off the top of your head.
Yeah,
that was nice.
Everything's off the dome, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Off the dome when no one's home alone. Macaulay Culkin double dipping a chipping, balling like Pippin. To and from places I drive, I will freestyle.
Nice.
Put on an instrumental, and if you do it too much, it'll hurt your throat. So,
right.
you at that point you stop or you're going to get sick.
Right. So what do you do? Like you put on trap and just go at it?
No. I put on real music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like,
nice.
Underground hip hop, whatever, 90s hip hop instrumentals. Right. And it's more about, for me, cultivating that quick-wittedness, which is useful in sales situations, in podcasting, like you saw. The rhyming part is, can be obnoxious for others to listen to, very cringy. Right. However, it does help with being able to say something quickly to maybe change the conversation for the better in a positive way. Or
right.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself at a bank talking to the teller and just rhyming while you're like, give me that bank or I'll show you my wank? I'm not sure. I can't rhyme for a first one.
Yeah, you just got to get 2 shots of Jaeger. No. I honestly back in the day in Meadowvale, it was like a first world problem ghetto, meaning that you think you're in a ghetto, but you're not. It's a nice place to live, right?
Right.
And we would just freestyle all the time. We'd sit on the curb with a bag and a bottle of OE inside of it, and just throw up in the sewers and spit freestyles and hang out in alleys. Nice. And it was fun. We had a Slim Shady. When Slim Shady came out with that Just Like Me, and there's all the clones.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were one of those, right?
Nice.
we loved hip hop, the culture, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that sucks about.
Sorry. Yeah. No, go ahead.
The one thing that sucks about it is at the time the fights, the beef and stuff, but it's matured over the years.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a great segue into our topic, right?
Well done.
About health, optimal health, and puking in sewers.
Yes.
And puking in sewers.
Yes. The last part of this podcast, meaning the next part, is all about puking in sewers. The rest of it was just lead up, and the rest of it's going to be throw up. But yes, so today we're basically going to talk about, Rui, is anything that you've done, anything that I've done, any thing that we know that other people have done, YouTube videos, podcasts, whatever, to optimize health, wellness, mind, body, and soul. And what is the point? You probably want to feel good because you had a good quote in the last podcast. I sent you that, which is like, life is a continuum of sadness with many happy moments
in between.
Even if you flip that to life is a continuum of happiness with many sad moments,
that can
it
work.
Still isn't sustainable unless it comes from within, right? If you're not feeling good about yourself from a self-confidence, self-esteem perspective, if you're not healthy mentally, or if you want to get healthier mentally, if you're not physically fit, and that's not a body shame, that's not a working out pro, it's it has been shown countless time and time again, if you do anything physical, it benefits mental health, sleep, everything, right?
Right.
So throw everything you know about, bodybuilding and all that stuff out the window, and it benefits everything in your life.
Absolutely. And if you let yourself lapse, you not only degrade yourself, and I mean that as in degradation of the body, but everything around you starts to degrade the same way, right? If you let your mental health, or if your mental health is degrading, it's not just you're affecting everybody within your circle, right? And that can in turn affect others. It's almost like a disease that spreads, right? That can
Oh,
affect
great
others,
point.
and
Yeah.
it can affect beyond that. And at some point, the world's just going to go mad.
Mhm.
But yeah, it all starts with you, with us, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like alcoholism, right? You know how they say it destroys families. That's that inner
Yes,
circle.
exactly.
Something you said there is also super deep and true, where because we're like always transmitting positive or negative vibes,
Yeah.
like we're like towers in a field that are emitting emotions and feelings.
Hmm.
And if you're in a room of 100 people and there is someone who just lost a parent,
Yeah.
you just feel like, I just feel off today. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. You maybe never met or talked to her. We are all connected. We're all unique. We're all
Hmm.
different, but we're all part of the same thing, like ethereally, like from a soul, mind, body perspective. We can feel each other. We can tap into those emotional states. And
Yeah.
we are only as strong as the weakest person on the team.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So, segueing again, um, what have you done, dude?
Oh man, you mean
Put you on the
today?
spot first. You want me to?
Morning?
Let
No,
me
no,
go
no.
first. You want me to
No,
go
no, it's
first? I
fine.
don't want
I
to.
can go
Okay.
first. What have I
All
done?
right.
What have I done?
Yeah.
What do I do? What do I continue doing? The one thing that I've done that is pretty detrimental to my overall health is drink coffee 3 to 4 times a day.
Mm,
And it's not helping. It's not
yep.
helping with my sleep.
Hmm.
I do want to get into the pattern of sleeping well. I remember a time in my life when I used to sleep, pretty good, 8 hours without waking up, even 6 hours, just a continuous sleep. I felt good. I felt amazing. And a lack of sleep, I think, is attributed to like the worst feelings you could ever imagine. It's almost like being, an alcoholic, right? It has detrimental effects to your body. And I need to get on that sleep wagon, man. I need to be instructed on how to sleep. It's such a mundane thing, right? You think
Hmm.
sleep, anybody could do it. I think it is you should treat sleep like something to learn. Learn how to sleep, because I don't think a lot of people know how to properly sleep.
Hmm. So your
What
sleep's
is
not. Sorry.
No, I was going to
Your
say, what is your take on that?
So I know exactly how to optimize sleep. I've
Mhm.
done the research. I've implemented a lot of it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right now I'm kind of off the wagon as opposed like having a daytime coffee as you are. I know what
Yeah.
to do. Like I just got off a 2 month zero caffeine,
Mhm.
and that includes chocolate, tea, and any caffeine.
Yeah.
And it takes about 2 weeks. First, you have the headaches and whatnot. Which, by the way, those headaches are
Mhm.
the blood returning to your brain because your brain's not used to having blood in it, right?
Right.
It's used to being a dried volleyball size raisin. That's
Mhm.
what it's used to. It's not used to being a grape. They
Yeah.
took before and after shots of MRI patients, like before caffeine, after, and this
Mhm.
is all like public domain. So at about 2 weeks, um, you basically just follow. You get tired on your own. You don't have to try to sleep anymore,
Yeah.
and you wake up just in the most sublime, perfect state ever.
Mhm.
And I know different places of the world are different in terms of the workaholic culture that we have in the West.
Right.
However, coffee is still prevalent everywhere, or caffeine is prevalent everywhere, right?
Mhm.
I will say that caffeine, I'm against caffeine completely. as a as the amount of what humans are doing with this is an inappropriate amount globally, right?
Right.
So I would say, you know, if you want to do a bunch of things like, you know, melatonin, L-theanine, or maybe not seeing so much light in the evenings, don't be on screens, throw that out the window. Don't even worry about that. Get rid of all of the caffeine, get rid of all of the stimulants, and everything falls in place. But if you don't want to do anything but one thing, get rid of all caffeine. And your sleep, for the most part, if you can, easier said than done. It is literally like a alcoholic quitting or someone that's a smoker quitting.
Oh yeah.
Easier said than done. But that is the one thing that everyone needs to do.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to do it. And probably 99% will never.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just tough, right? It's tough to stop, you know, that satisfaction of having that coffee, right? That feeling, that first morning coffee. It's hard to stop that. I feel like, yeah, you could stop coffee, but there are more things there are bigger fish to fry, right? When it comes to optimal health. And yeah, coffee could maybe take the, you know, lower spot on the ladder, lower rung on the ladder. Alcohol would be probably the top rung, one that needs to be, you know,
absolutely
taken out and eliminated. Alcohol, if anything, that is the one that needs to be eradicated. Everything else, yes, in moderation, but yeah, alcohol, not even in moderation. It should be just completely gone.
Yeah. It's Snoop Dogg had a great YouTube short or TikTok where he's like, hey, you know, growing up, if there was a bunch of friends and maybe some enemies in the room, give us some weed and we'd all chill out and be friends. Give one person in that room alcohol and someone's going to die. And the reason for that is because alcohol is a poison, and even the smallest amount of neat alcohol, like 100% or very neat, will kill you. The first thing it does is your prefrontal cortex, which is for empathy, which is right at the front of your head.
Right.
When a human is poisoned, it throws that out. It says, look, you just got bit by a viper. This is no time for you to be nice to your wife. Right? You need to focus on not dying.
Right. So
these fights, the guns, the road rage, the bar fights, there is no marijuana hookah club fight.
Right. Right.
And there, you know, that's one of the reasons that it should be completely, you know, illegal. It should be. Why is it that the government's like, yeah, you know what? Let's give you all the caffeine you want, right?
Yeah.
So you work super hard, you dry out because you don't want to heal. We just want you working hard. We don't want you your body fit. We want we want you working hard. But in the evening, you guys are going to have trouble sleeping. So we came up with a product called Poison, right? Yeah. And if you take small amounts of that poison, it'll help you fall asleep so quick. And you wake up at 3 a.m. whatever the time is. It's always the same time.
Yeah.
And you, that is, at that point, the alcohol is out of your system.
Yeah.
And you are basically screwed for the next 72 hours with your body trying to recover from being poisoned.
Yeah. Yeah. I find myself, man, it's that same witching hour, right? 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm up just feeling absolutely like terrible. Right. And it's the same thing every time. Not that I drink often. I don't drink that often anymore. I really cut down. I mean, I didn't drink a lot to begin with, right? It was more of a, you know, social thing, but I cut down a lot. It's gone to like almost zero now. But yeah, man, I remember very clearly waking up and that was it. I was done, man.
And it's super weird when you wake up at that point because your body is recovering from that. It says, hey, we're trying not to die here. Can you put in copious amounts of sugar? So like after people drink, they normally hit like their friends DDing, and they'll go through a McDonald's drive-through, get copious amounts of French fries, or you wake up at 3, hit a bowl of Cheerios or hit some candy bars, whatever, fall back asleep, have some chocolate milk. It's because your body wants the glucose to store immediately because it thinks that it's going to go in a state that it can't get out of. So it needs to, store something to use later if that happens again, it's very concerned that it won't be able to feed itself.
Yeah. That's pretty bad. And, that's one of the things, man. That's what's been making my health a little more optimal. It's that not drinking, and moving on from that, eating right. Eating right plays a huge part in mental health and mental development, and just cognition all around, right?
Yeah.
It's just so good. I stopped eating fast food. I actually eat fast food. I still eat it once in a while, but not like when I was in my 20s or teens, right? It's a little bit different.
Right. Yeah.
I stopped eating it. I maybe will have it once a month, if that. I cook at home. I cook healthy and I eat healthy. So that's been helping me. It just helps me focus, right? It's been helping me. I feel better.
Yeah.
And my skin is radiating. I'm just kidding. That sounds weird.
No, it doesn't, dude. Like getting back to the caffeine thing, the first time I went off it was like 4 months. I was driving in my car and I grabbed my bicep, see if I can get this on camera, and I flicked it like that, and it had like a ripple, and it wasn't fat like from the ripple. It was just so moist and plump. I was like, what is with that? It's like because your blood is actually flowing properly. You got cold hands and feet, it's caffeine. Other than the fact that most people are working from home in a basement.
Exactly.
But they say that's exactly it. If you're looking to optimize the first level 1 of nutrition, is don't eat fast food.
Right.
And it's changes like those that are smart. Many people think that they need to go completely keto, vegan, Mediterranean, whatever. No. Make small little tiny adjustments. It doesn't have to be cut fast food. It could be something smaller, like only fast food on Friday if you've gotten through the week and not had it. And that's your cheat day or your cheat weekend.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And speaking of going to the Mediterranean diet, that is my diet. And it's not something that I kind of chose because of, dietary, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Because of dietary benefits, right? I just grew up eating that because I'm Mediterranean culture. So I eat olive oil. I put olive oil on everything. Like I just had the other day, I just like raw garlic on bread with olive oil, with fresh bread. And that was my lunch. And I just love it. I grew up eating that stuff. And I just love eating that. And I don't, the fast food, man, like you said, cut it out. Reduce your meat consumption is another one. Eating meat, like this is just me. I know everybody has different opinions on diets. I know there's not the
carnivore
keto diet. There's a carnivore diet, right? What is it called? The paleo diet. And that is just about eating natural foods, including, meat, a lot of meat.
Yeah.
And they have high protein diets. But I think reducing meat consumption will increase your lifespan.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a brief stint in, I was going to say cannibalism, but probably not. Like if you guys are looking to optimize your health, eat your neighbor. Blame it on the other neighbor across from you, the one you don't like. Is carnivore diet. 2 months of that and lost like 10 pounds, right? Now, like my weight, because I'm trying to optimize it for skateboarding, get very low BMI. Because when I jump downstairs, I don't want my knees to feel like, an old man's knees. Right.
Right.
And, like just basically it was like, working, and then, a little bit hungry, go up, eat a piece of chicken breast, just a little hunk, and then go back down and work. Every time that there was a glimpse of hunger, you just pop not like a breaded chicken nugget, like a clean, baked chicken breast or barbecued chicken breast, right? No seasoning, all that stuff, maybe a little salt, and just to take away the hunger. So lost a ton of weight. But then as soon as I would go skateboarding or do any cardio, I almost went into cardiac. It felt like cardiac. There was a problem with my heart because it was going so crazy. I was getting dizzy. Then I realized you need to like replenish your glycogen stores when you're doing anything like aerobic like that, so you need to have carbohydrates. So what I ended up doing, my current, diet is very Mediterranean, more leaning on to more carnivore. But before I go do anything like skateboarding, I'll have some bread, some like peanut butter before I go. But other than that, I'll probably not have any breads. And then when I come back, like a post-workout meal or whatever, like just before bed as a sleep aid, I will have maybe more bread or more oatmeal, more bread than I would typically throughout the day. But like normally my wake up is nothing until dinner. So that's once a day or 16-8.
Yeah.
And then in the evenings, it's, carbohydrates, and I break on avocado. So,
nice.
If every day you have, a dinner, but you don't have breakfast and lunch, during that fast, you can trick your body. And this is like a tip from Thomas Doolittle, which works for me, is before your meal at dinner, you have like an avocado, you put a little MCT oil and maybe a little salt, and you eat that maybe 10 minutes before your dinner. Yeah. It's important that there is a bad way to break your fast. If you broke a 24-hour fast on carbohydrates, like consider it not a waste of time, but it's not good for you. When you break it on fats, it sends a signal to your gut brain axis that says, hey, just want to let you know that we're currently starving. We're getting the signal here that we need to burn fat stores.
Yeah.
It kind of tricks your body, right?
Right.
Kind of like primes the pump because, before you pull that motor, like ketosis motor, it primes the pump by sending down fat. It's like, fast, fat, fast, fast, fat. And then the body's like, oh, ketosis. Right.
BlendJet, the portable blender that allows you to make delicious and healthy smoothies on the go. With its powerful motor and compact design, you can blend your favorite fruits and veggies anytime, anywhere. Say goodbye to unhealthy fast food and hello to a healthier lifestyle with BlendJet. For 12% off a BlendJet 2, use coupon code CODEPLAY12.
Right?
Yeah.
And the next day, if I do that religiously, I'll be down 1 or 2 pounds on the scale.
Yeah.
But if I broke on carbohydrates or something, consider it like up 1 or net neutral.
Right. Right. No, I don't actually put a whole lot of thought into diets. I don't typically fast, but I don't eat breakfast either. I typically eat like around 11:30 and then dinner. So 2 meals a day. That's just because my body's used to that since I was young, but I don't have any considerations for diets, right? That being said, I do, like I said, I restrict my meat, and I feel so good eating meat like 2 days a week, say 3 days a week, and then just having whatever else in between. I was gonna bring up something, so I can't remember what it was.
Maybe it'll process, how like a SQL query will process, in 30 minutes. What do you do for protein then? Like
what do I do for
legumes
protein?
or oatmeal, or like if you're not having,
Yeah, no, I don't really think about what I do for protein or if I need protein, right? I just will eat. I just reduce my meat intake, but I don't consider, because I'm not bodybuilding, right? So I don't need a count of protein per day.
Right.
So does it matter if I have, whatever today that's less protein rich than something else, it doesn't really matter to me because I'm not looking to build my muscle.
Yeah, for sure. You don't need to be a bodybuilder or doing any sports at all to know that the body needs protein to function optimally.
Yeah.
But you're kind of hinting at something that is a plague on society for the most part, is people will make small little minor changes to their health, either vitamin or nutrition, diet, exercise, and they won't go get blood work. Right? We just operate in this bubble where we pop some kind of vitamin and we think that'll solve it, but we don't measure it.
Right.
So that is one thing I know with Paulina we talked about is go every 2 weeks, whatever you can, like get a reoccurring thing from your doctor to just go.
Yeah.
And then start making minor adjustments. Right. And you're not trying to become super physiological. You're just simply trying to optimize all levels.
Right. You know, what I found is that my body specifically tells me when I'm hungry and tells me what I'm lacking. And so this may sound kind of out there, but
that's true.
When my body's craving like fruits and vegetables, I don't deny it. I'll get the fruits and vegetables and eat them, right? And if my body's craving, but it's been like this forever, man. That's why I'm restricting my meat. It wasn't something that I woke up and said, I'm going to eat meat on Wednesdays and Saturdays and not eat anything else. It's basically my body craves meat at certain times automatically. And I'll have meat today, with the exception of Fridays, because I don't eat meat on Fridays. I will at that point restrict. If I'm feeling like I want a steak on a Friday, I'll have something else. I'll have fish or whatever, right? But aside from that, if I'm feeling like eating meat on Saturday, I'll eat it. But then I won't feel like eating it on Sunday or Monday, but I may have it on Wednesday. It's my body's telling me to do this. It's craving these things, right? And same with the fruits and vegetables. Like I'm craving, grapes, kiwis, mangoes, and broccoli. My body's craving it, so I'll go and have it. I don't crave McDonald's fries. I don't crave Big Mac. I don't crave that stuff, right? So that there's nothing obstructing me from craving good, healthy food because I don't crave the crap,
the bad stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And further to that, what I can offer in terms of some kind of hack is don't eat until you're full. Always leave something on the plate. Always leave a little bit on the plate to remind yourself that we shouldn't be eating till we explode, right? Till we're too full. Just eat enough to not be full, but not be hungry. Find that balance. That's my hack.
Yeah. And there is something to be said about young entrepreneurs are hungry or whatnot. If they were full, like, if they're a fat cat or whatever, they're not hungry. Right.
Right.
Oh, why does he have ambition? Why does he want to do that? It's because he's hungry. So, you have lunch, right? Dimitri has lunch, we went for lunch a lot, for me personally, you probably tried it. Like you tried skipping lunch and went right to dinner, like on a work day. Yes.
Yeah. It's very difficult.
Very difficult. Even if you have a coffee at lunch to like fill your belly with something, it's
still hard, man.
Okay.
Because then you get brain fog, right? Well, I get brain fog.
Yes, you do. You absolutely do. There's a point that the brain fog is like, let's say 4 hours, or it's different for everyone, first off. But once you pass that, because you think when you're in it, it will never solve itself without food.
Yeah.
And you think when you're in it that the brain fog will never go away.
Right.
After the 4 hours or whatever, it just becomes mental clarity, wakefulness without caffeine, and so on and so forth. I do it just so during business hours or the 9 to 5 hours, I guess most like nootropically mentally peaked to be able to talk to clients, customers, partners, employees, consultants, anyone that's needs help with anything. It also helps with social media videos to be able to straight off the dome kind of stuff like that. Yeah, it is constant pain and it hurts so bad. And you almost have to come to accept that your belly is in constant pain, and it feels like it's eating itself it kind of is, because, it'll produce more gastric enzyme, juices, which is acid, and it does go away. And there is a overcast sky that becomes slowly more sunny.
Right.
And my longest, dude, was 72 hours.
Wow.
And
that's a long time.
Everyone's going for lunch, like, oh, they eat. You stop thinking about hunger the same way when you get an electric car. You can't see gas stations when you drive. They're just irrelevant to you. Gas prices, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, they're invisible. Same way that people are eating. No, I don't eat. Can you imagine? And the cost savings on fasting is astronomical, right?
Yeah.
Who knew all you had to do was nothing to become everything?
Right.
Fasting is pretty damn awesome. Even fasting during cardio is very good.
Is it?
Yes. Did I tell you about Rowell sign? Yeah, I did.
No.
So it's from Derek, More Plates, More Dates company, Gorilla Mind. And it's one of the, I guess, 10 things that you can't buy in Canada. So when we get it, we ship it to Connect, which is a post office there. And then we, quote unquote, bring it in or bring it back. And I believe it's a bark from an African tree. So it's completely just out there. And it's a adrenaline agonist or anti-agonist, kind of like coffee.
Yeah.
However, coffee is a 12-hour half-life. So anyone listening, well, first off, Rui, what time do you want to go to bed at?
10 p.m.
So your last coffee of the day should be 10 a.m. So coffee is out of your system because it has a half-life of 12 hours, right? Or 6 hours, because the half-life, I believe, is like a curve, right? So the half point is like 6 and the down is 6, so 12. So it's out of your body for the most part after 12 hours. So a Rowell sign, or that African tree bark, is like coffee, right? But unlike coffee, it is a vasodilator. So you start getting warm and sweaty.
Yeah.
And the half-life of it, so just as alert as caffeine, the half-life of it is 2 hours.
Right.
Can you imagine if you had a coffee at 6 p.m. and you could fall asleep like a baby at 10? That's
that would be nice.
Yeah.
But the problem is that stuff probably doesn't taste or smell like coffee.
Correct. Yes. And dude, have you ever tried to have, I was going to say diet coffee.
Diet.
Have you ever had decaffeinated or Swiss water processed decaffeinated coffee?
No, I have not. I have not tried decaffeinated coffee. I don't know if I want to. But have you tried barley drink?
No. Is that barley as in the beer barley?
Yeah, it's barley. It's the same barley, and you can buy it at any store here, coffee shops. Any like Fortinos or Sobeys.
Yeah.
It's made by Nestle. It's called I can't remember what it's called, Pensal or something, but it's a barley. It's made out of barley, and it's a coffee substitute. Man, that has a phenomenal taste, and will, if you want to sleep, man, that'll put you out for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to check that out.
Yeah, check it out, man. You should taste it. It's I actually have a couple of jars.
Yeah, can you bring it over? Is it like moonshine?
I wish. No, it's not.
Cool. Yeah. It's in a jar.
Yeah, it's in a jar, man. It's like a coffee jar. It looks like a coffee jar.
Cool. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'll bring it over, man. You can taste it.
Maybe I'll give you a capsule of the Rowell sign, which is from Derek's company.
Yeah.
And the only thing I will say is it will mess up your tummy will be hurting for me personally. There's tons of people.
If you're looking for a unique, high-quality puzzle experience, then Wongo Puzzles is for you. Their puzzles are handcrafted and made of premium quality wood, ensuring a long-lasting and enjoyable puzzle-solving experience. Why settle for mass-produced plastic puzzles when you can have a one-of-a-kind handmade Wongo puzzle? For 10% off Wongo Puzzles, use the coupon code CODEPLAY.
People that don't have this issue, for an hour, you'll be like, oh, very nerd, damn it. And as soon as it passes, it's like the clouds part and then God's like, hey man, and you're just flying in terms of feeling good, warm, all that stuff. I got it because of the cold hand issue in the basement. And it did help, but even the treadmill underneath my desk, which I end up walking 10K a day, like it's a standing desk, and I put I got that to warm my body, and none of them really worked. But this is, I say that this so far has been the thing that I'm focused on right now, is the cold hands and feet. And yes, eliminating coffee helps. But a lot of people are probably dealing with this, especially work from home, because your hands are always up here. So your blood flow absolutely sucks. Right? They're not at your, waist-side. And the exacerbation of this is Raynaud's syndrome, or when you you see like photos of hands and feet where it's like all white here. You see that? How it just like slowly returned like that.
Yeah.
If you did that, it probably wouldn't return. They would probably return, faster, right? Because I feel like you're pretty warm.
I'm not that cold here. Then again, I have a heater under my desk.
So apparently, humans, for the most part, for the most of like their existence, weren't wearing clothes, right? Maybe the winter came and they had to like put some fur on their back.
Right.
But there's this thing called brown fat, right? Which is the fat that keeps you warm. Like why polar bears are, why is that skinny thing out there, like that deer or that elk that's super lean? Like it doesn't need like a Rockaware parka. You know what I mean? It's because it has a lot of, brown fat. And how you cultivate brown fat is, ice baths, like the Joe Rogan ice bath. But for me, that's a little too much. What I've been doing is I got 2 buckets and I fill them up with pure ice, and I'll plunge both my hands into them. And it's the most excruciating pain ever. And I just do that every couple days. And I've noticed that slowly my hands are warm on their own. And the reason is because the humans are saying, oh, you don't need to heat yourself. You'll get a blanket. And the body's like, no. Listen, the way that I evolved for the past, millennia or whatever is I need to be exposed to things to know that because if your arms right now, Rui, let's say you always wear long sleeve. If your arms get the signal that, my baseline level of heat that I need to typically produce is X, then it will, because it always has clothing. So, walk around naked in your house as much as you can, without, making the neighbors jealous. But it's very important to expose yourself to, without putting yourself in a health risk, but experiencing cold.
Yeah.
Your body will never learn to heat itself if you're always got a sweater on, a blanket,
the heater,
slippers, the heater. Your body wants to work without things. Take away your things and your body works on its own.
Right. Now that makes a whole lot of sense, man. For sure. I like that. I didn't know about the brown fat thing. That's new to me. So humans have brown fat.
Yes.
So we need to cultivate it. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, there's like 3 different types of. It was on an Andrew Huberman podcast, which his podcasts aren't really podcasts. It's more of like a statement of all of the research of his lab and his teams of here's the current lay of the lands for this topic.
Right.
And it is, for the most part, efficaciously, you probably 98%. There is probably something that over time he said, okay, we corrected this and that, but it is the most accurate we have between people like Vigor Steve and Derek and Andrew Huberman. And there's a bunch of other people, knees over toes for a body movement or mechanics perspective.
Yeah.
He's incredible. Like if you want to learn how to dunk a basketball and
Mm-hmm.
you're, let's say 60 and you've never played, or you're 50, check out Knees Over Toes on social media. He is changing the game in terms of, he went to, I don't know if he went to the school or whatever, but he mentioned that the current like physical therapy or body health kinesiology universities, they're not actually teaching the newer. It's the same thing. If you're a computer scientist, you go to university and they're like teaching Java or whatever.
Right.
They're not teaching like Azure Bicep scripts or YAML or whatever.
They're behind the times.
They're behind the times, right? So he said, all right, fine, I'll just do my own thing. And he basically just took off like that. Now he's well known. The stuff that he's done, especially helps skateboarders. Like if you want to be able to jump, skateboarding. What other sports don't jump? I mean, there's probably some of them. I mean, cycling might not, but I would argue that anything, if you just only watched him and did everything he said, I would say that your whole body would improve so much more than anything else. Maybe yoga is good for flexibility and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you do any of that stuff where like, I feel like I've been meaning to, but like just sit in front of the TV and like do yoga, or do you?
No, man, that's not for me, man. I don't really need to work on my flexibility. What I do need to do is start working out and getting my cardio exercises in. But yeah, I don't need that flexibility.
Yeah.
I need to bend over backwards. It's just not something useful for me.
Yeah. I mean, once you can put your knees behind your ears, you pretty much don't have to leave the house. But I will say that the treadmill under the desk, and walking the 10K a day.
Yeah.
You get like, even from IKEA, in Canada, like a lot of people from the US come to Canada on, in Burlington for, I guess it's one of the closest IKEAs for even the US in that area. So they have like the legs you could just add. Actually, now it's probably more prevalent. You can just buy legs on Amazon. You can pick any tabletop you want, like a beautiful butcher block or whatever your wife signs off of, because generally she's got better design sense than every heterosexual, monogamous male. And you just raise it, like, I don't know, I'll raise mine for a second. It's like pneumatic. Like the IKEA ones have like Bluetooth, which is pretty obnoxious if you think about it.
It is.
But whatever.
Yeah, no,
and then you
good,
put the
man.
treadmill under, and then you just go, right?
That's
you
what I
lube
need,
up your
man.
treadmill. Yeah.
For sure. I need to get my cardio up, and that's the best way, man. What better way than having it right under your desk where you're kind of, where you can push yourself, right?
Exactly.
If I have to drop everything and go to my garage and start my cardio, it's a little bit more, it's a little more difficult, right? And you always find excuses not to go. But if it's right here under my desk, there is no excuse, man. So that's a great idea, man. You know what I've been reading about a lot recently? The cancerous effects of alcohol. And apparently it's causing, and a lot of people don't talk about this, especially obviously, mainstream media and, lobbyist companies that lobby to the media. They don't talk about the cancerous effects on the body, stomach cancer, colon, breast cancer for women because of alcohol, right? There have been studies that have shown that it does actually cause cancer, man. But you don't hear about this.
Like I never heard about that, but it makes complete sense if you think about it, because cancer is not curable, because it's a great product and people can make tons of money off of it, right? Granted, there has been progression, but let's not like there's going to be a news thing that's come out like, oh, we got the cure, we're good. It's essentially because, again, going back to, divide and conquer through government, whatever, like you make them super caffeinated to work super hard during the day. You poison them at night. Then when they get cancer and diabetes, you say we have a revolutionary new drug, but it's going to cost you tons of money, like $1,000 a month for injections, whatever it is. Now it's a product. Now that whole loop of high efficiency employees that poison themselves, and then we have a product to fix that. It's a whole government racket. You know what I mean? That wheel. People need to wake up. They need to put a treadmill underneath their desk. They need to step away. They need to deliberately leave choose their family and friends over all of that work stuff.
Right.
If your boss is treating you like a pile of garbage, leave the company, find something else.
Right.
Your mental health and wellness is good. Like you need that.
And stop the substance abuses.
Yes. Cut out all of that.
Yeah.
At the bare minimum, cut out all alcohol.
Right.
It should never have been legalized to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Yes and no. I mean, there's this whole thing where, have you seen that one meme where it's like alcoholic societies and it's like this huge empire, and then you see, you know, marijuana societies and it's just kind of like people living in grass.
No, I haven't seen that. It's like a meme. Like it's like photo.
It's a meme. Yeah, it's like stoners don't get anything done. Right, that's the stereotype. And alcoholic societies, obviously, you know, look at the world, right? The alcoholic societies. But yeah, man, yeah. Was there a need for it at some point? Absolutely. Yeah. Are we smart enough now to know not to consume it in vast quantities? Absolutely.
Yes. I really hope it becomes like with cigarettes on airplanes and cigarettes inside, where it just our kids are like grown up and they're like, can you believe that like everyone like 20 years ago were poisoning themselves and drinking caffeine? Getting back to caffeine of why is that a poison is because the coffee bean, right?
Yeah.
It over the years, genetically, it produced a pesticide around it because it kept getting eaten.
Yeah.
And it wanted to hurt the things that were eating it.
Right.
But humans, they're like, oh, small doses of poison.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a product. Right? The reason why it in the morning, we flush our systems, we take a dump right away in the morning, or it's a diuretic, is because your body knows that it's toxic and it wants it out. It's like, oh, shoot, that's a pesticide. Get it out.
Yeah.
But that is, the writing is on the wall. And the main problem is it's good. Everyone I like coffee. Like I like having a drink. It's generally enjoyable. That's the problem. And that's the loop. To each their own. People don't have to do it. But some people, including myself, hypocritically, but, I do have, I've gone on and off caffeine, and like people are like, why are you stopping caffeine? Why are you not eating chocolate? Looked at like a weirdo. Some people will choose and say, you know what? It's enjoyable, but I kind of want to be a better father, kind of want to be a better friend, a better neighbor. I want to have better sleep. I want to be there for my grandchildren.
Right.
Everything within moderation. The problem with alcohol and coffee and caffeine is it's unmoderatable due to the dependency it causes.
Right. Well, alcohol is unmoderatable. I'll tell you, once you have one, you'll want two. And you know what happens with two? You'll want 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you're at 6, you don't care anymore. Give me the bottle.
That is because, one of the reasons is because it's tricking you to think that it's a dehydrator, just like caffeine is.
Yeah.
Let's say you have a shot of whiskey, and that blood sugar alcohol level, that first inertia or that euphoria hits, and you're like, oh yeah, I needed that, right? All of a sudden, dry mouth, and you're thirsty, and the brain's dumb, or whatever happens, you're like, oh shoot, I'm thirsty. Might as well have more. And the more you drink, because it's a dehydrator, the more you want to drink. So that example you gave is partially because of dehydration.
Yeah. You want to hear something interesting I didn't know that I learned recently is that coffee is a cherry.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I didn't know either until
what?
Yeah. I mean,
what defines a cherry?
I have no idea.
So it's part of that genius or that whole family of cherries.
That's what I think. Yeah. I mean, I read that somewhere. I can't.
Man.
Maybe I should look it up. Maybe I should have looked it up before I said anything.
No. It makes sense. Like you wouldn't fabricate that. 2 minutes later. Sorry, Rui, you'd like to apologize for fabricating the cherry story. No, but yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, here it is. The beans you brew are actually the processed and roasted seeds from a fruit, which is called a coffee cherry. Coffee cherry's outer skin is called the exocarp. So, yeah, is it part of the cherry family? I don't know. It's referred to as a cherry. You know, one of those posts where it's like coffee is actually a cherry and not a bean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the TLDR is the attention grabbing. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like coffee kills millions. And then you read the story, you're like, it just like was a long life of people doing a bunch of bad stuff.
Yeah.
Like coffee wasn't to blame.
Coffee killed millions of ants. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, man. So
that one story that Jamie gave, remember, he's like, all you have to do is just pour a bunch of baking soda and some sugar and stuff and have them eat it. They'll bring it back to their hive and then they'll feed it to the queen and then they all explode. It was like,
do you remember that?
The best story ever, man. I miss him like a brother, and he would never listen to this stuff, but like if he was listening, dude, man, like I love you, man. I'm going to give you a call and you're going to ignore it, but that's okay. I know you're too good for me. But I do look up to you as a mentor, regardless of, whatever. You're just a cool dude. Jamie, love you. He's in Milton too. I'm not sure if he still is, but you talk to him?
Yeah. Yeah, I still talk to him, yeah.
Like, I love that guy.
Yeah. He lives in Milton, right? He could be your neighbor, man. You don't know.
No, I know where he lives because I stalk him. No, I'm just kidding. I know where he lives because I think I had to pick up something, drop something off. I can't remember.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, back to the alcohol. Yeah, don't do it. Eat good.
Don't do it.
Eat a lot of fish. Reduce your meat consumption. Stop drinking alcohol. Reduce your coffee. Don't have coffee after whatever o'clock because of the half-life of 12 hours.
Yeah.
Just refer back to the podcast at about 35 minutes and you'll know all of that. Logan, anything else you wanna bring up before we
close it out?
Make like a baby and head out.
Make like a tree and leave. Make That's like a dog and bark like a rowel sign African tree. Sometimes people will in the winter go on antidepressants because they're sad. Well, they kind of have serotonin levels that are out of whack. Even if you're on SSRIs like Celexa or whatever it is, you need to be having like a blanket statement to the world. You need to be having vitamin D. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you're having even just 1,000 UI a day, yes, in the summer as well. Don't think that, the sun's out. No, you're still sitting behind a desk. You're indoors. You're not naked outside like prehistorically we were, right? Because the skin is a sponge for the light, and it basically the vitamin D, like the sun hits it, gets all that serotonin, and at the end of the day converts to melatonin to help you sleep. Don't take exogenous melatonin before bed. Take 1,000 or ideally 5,000 UI of vitamin D. Obviously talk to your doctor, before doing that, but at least for everyone, like something, even kids, right? They have vitamin D gummies, that are Sesame Street. I think they have 400 recommended doses too. So that's pretty close to 1,000. Obviously don't stop taking your SSRIs or anything like that. But I will say the quality of your life, think about it. We're not supposed to be inside. The quality of your life that will improve by simply taking vitamin D should not be understated. That was my last one. Yeah, it's important. Vitamin
nice.
D. Yeah.
That's good, man. That's good. That's a good. Those are good last words for sure.
What about you?
I thought I said my last words, but that's okay. I can say some more.
All right.
All right. I could drop another one.
Yeah.
So 3 things to keep in mind for a nice day, or for feeling good throughout the day, for feeling good throughout your life, throughout the week. 3 things to keep or 3 things to do or to practice is eating right, sleeping right, and having sex. No, wait, I take that back. No, we get it. Yeah, take that one back. No, actually, you know what? Let's keep that in.
That's a bonus or a boner.
that's a
it's a bonus. It's
okay,
a bonus.
No, in all honesty, okay, jokes aside. So yeah, eating right, sleeping right, and everything in moderation, right? That is the key. That is the key to good health. So
if you're gonna drink, just don't drink every night. Do moderate that. If you can't cut it out, moderation is
exactly
key, especially with food, like you said, little bits, not until you feel like dying. Because you're so full.
Don't eliminate, but limit.
That's perfect. We got to get Hayden or Josh to come up with a meme photo for every podcast where it's a quote from you. That was don't eliminate, limit.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Rui.
No problem. Have a great day.
You too.